Greetings, my Abcapad and North Hills Community Baptist Church family. If we don't know each other, my name is Heidi Clark, and I'm here at the cafe at NHCBC, where I've had the joy of being the Director of Worship and Arts for about 20 years. I have dreamt of making this video for quite some time. See, about 7 years ago, the Holy Spirit started to poke and prod me. I wanted to know more about my job as a pastoral musician. But I also had the bigger question about why do we Christians do what we do, called worship? And like all good Christians with a question, I turned to the internet. And I like to call the internet Dr. Google Pants. And so I Dr. Google Pants the question about studying worship. And what came up was a place called the Institute for Worship Studies in Jacksonville, Florida. And what caught my eye was the banner on IWS's website. It said, "Do you want to know more about worship, but not music?" See, for me, I have a bachelor's of music education, and I have a master's in music. Been there, done that, love it, and will continue to do it. But I want to study worship. But the timing wasn't right. See, my kids were little, my husband was traveling a lot, and so forth. Fast forward about 2 years, and the Holy Spirit continued that push and that prod, this time in the form of my husband literally pushing me out the door with an airplane ticket to go to Jacksonville, Florida, to check out IWS. And yes, the Holy Spirit does use that gentle voice that Elijah experienced in 1 Kings 19, but a lot of times for me, the Holy Spirit has to use a frying pan or a 2x4 against my head because I am stubborn. But I went, and I was floored. I was brought to my knees. I had to go to study worship at IWS. And so I applied and I enrolled in June of 2020. And even then, I began to think about my thesis and project and worship renewal. And here we are. And if you're like me and have a desire to know more about worship, specifically how to plan intentional worship that glorifies God, then I invite you to be part of this amazing journey that I've been on for quite some time. I'm offering a free 2-week online course called Beyond the Bulletin, Planning Intentional Worship. And we're going to look at planning intentional worship from 3 perspectives: biblical, historical, and theological. And so, who is this class for? It's for veteran pastors and new pastors. It's for lay ministers, part-time and bivocational folks, lay leaders, those who serve on boards, those who are new to the faith, those that have been sitting in the same pew for many decades, and you know who you are. Really, anyone who is interested in why we do what we do and how we can do it so we purposefully glorify God alone. So I'm going to ask you to take a moment and pray. Ask the Holy Spirit where it's moving you. I'm guessing you too may have the spark of wanting to know more about intentional worship. And if that's the case, I invite you to explore the website beyondthebulletin.com and sign up for the class. Blessings, my brothers and sisters in Christ.